You are listening to Housekeepers Chat by the United States Department of Agriculture from 1926. Disclaimer: this is read from a historic archive document. Do not assume content reflects current scientific knowledge, policies, or practices. This show was broadcast on 2nd of December 1926.
Lots of good things for the table in Aunt Sammy's chat today. All the recipes have been approved by the U.S. Bureau of Home Economics.
Just before I started to work on today's program, the postman brought me a letter from Chillicothe, Ohio. Let me read you a paragraph. It would be very hard to mention which of your recipes we have enjoyed most, but I will tell you we have tried and enjoyed more than once the peach dumplings, baked pears, and drop cookies. My first impulse on receiving such a letter is to answer it immediately. I like those recipes myself, and finding someone else who enjoys them makes me doubly sure they must be good. I have received many nice letters about the squash pie, the chicken on casserole, the sweet potato pie, the peach dainty, the vegetable soup, and especially the 5-minute cabbage. Never did I dream that the 5-minute cabbage would make such a hit. Perhaps it's true, as someone told me, that for many years we housewives have been boiling cabbage and other vegetables almost to death, destroying the vitamins and the flavor and the color. The 5-minute cabbage recipe gives a delicately flavored, crisp cabbage dish, which can be prepared in a very few minutes just before a meal or prepared early in the day and quickly heated at dinner time. The color is very attractive when green cabbage is used, and the kitchen and the house are not filled with a cabbage odor. Do you remember the recipe for 5-minute cabbage? It was accidentally omitted from the first set of cookbook recipes, but it is in the second set. I'm going to take a chance on telling you again how to cook it, because it is so good. Wash and slice fine, enough cabbage to make 1 quart. Simmer for about 2 minutes in 1 pint of hot milk. Stir the cabbage occasionally to prevent burning. Add 1 cup of cream or rich milk with 2 tablespoons of butter, in which has been blended 1 to 2 tablespoons of flour. Season with salt and pepper. Cover the cabbage. Heat for 3 or 4 minutes without allowing the mixture to reach the boiling point. The vegetable should not entirely lose its crispness. If more convenient, the cabbage may be cooked in this way early in the day, set away to ripen or develop flavor for a few hours. It should then be reheated quickly just before serving. I have a letter from a lady in Minneapolis who tells me how she varied one of the menus I broadcast in October. The menu included mock duck, 5-minute cabbage, candied sweet potatoes, and stuffed tomato salad. Instead of the 5-minute cabbage and tomato salad, the Minneapolis listener served stewed tomatoes and cabbage salad. I'd like to know, says she, if the food value was changed any. If she used the same kind of salad dressing for the cabbage salad that she would have used for the tomato salad, the only change in food value come through omitting the milk, which goes with the 5-minute cabbage. I'm taking for granted that she used as much butter for the tomatoes as she would have for the cabbage. Small differences in food value from meal to meal are balanced up in the course of a few days. I don't expect anyone to follow the menus exactly unless she happens to have every suggested food available. As far as balanced meals are concerned, one need not worry if plenty of fresh fruits and vegetables, milk, eggs, meat, and bread and butter are made the basis of the meals which are planned. I believe every housewife who is interested in meal planning would appreciate a copy of Farmer's Bulletin 1313, Good Proportions in the Diet. It is sent free on request. For our modern-day YouTube listeners, you can find a link to this bulletin in the description below. What will you have next? The mincemeat recipe, to be sure. My special Christmas mince meat is comprised of 12 ingredients. Get your pencils now, and I'll dictate the mincemeat recipe. 12 ingredients, remember? If you come out with 13, it means something is wrong, and you may have bad luck with your mincemeat. You will need 2 pounds lean beef, 1 pound chopped suet, 4 pounds tart apples, 3 pounds sugar, 3 pounds currants, 2 pounds raisins, 1 nutmeg, half teaspoon ground mace, 2 oranges, 2 lemons, half pound citron, 1 tablespoon salt. I will read the ingredients again so you may check your list. 2 pounds lean beef, 1 pound chopped suet, 4 pounds tart apples, 3 pounds sugar, 3 pounds currants, 2 pounds raisins, 1 nutmeg, half teaspoon ground mace, 2 oranges, 2 lemons, half a pound citron, 1 tablespoon salt. Stew the beef in very little water until quite tender. Cool the meat and chop. Add the beef suet, chopped fine, and the pared, cored, and chopped apples. Carefully pick over, wash, and dry the currants and raisins. To them add the sugar, spices, orange and lemon juice, the grated rind of the oranges and of 1 lemon, chopped citron and salt. Mix thoroughly. Pack in stone jar and keep in a dry, cold place just above freezing if possible. The mince meat should be thoroughly stirred each time any is taken out and occasionally moistened with a little grape juice or orange juice. Leftover canned fruit juice may be added from time to time. Now that the mince meat is out of the way, I want to give you a coffee cake recipe. This recipe was requested by listener in Cicero, Illinois, who says she finds her husband hard to please when it comes to coffee cake. I read her letter to the recipe lady in the Bureau of Home Economics. "We'll have to do something about that husband," said the recipe lady, and she concocted a coffee cake truly remarkable with a frosting made of butter and nuts and spice. This is her recipe for coffee cake. 8 ingredients: 2 cups flour, 4 tablespoons butter, a half teaspoon salt, 2 tablespoons sugar, 3 teaspoons baking powder, half cup cut citron or other candied fruit, half cup raisins chopped, half cup milk. I'll read them again a little faster this time. 2 cups flour, 4 tablespoons butter, half teaspoon salt, 2 tablespoons sugar, 3 teaspoons baking powder, half cup cut citron or other candied fruit, half cup raisins chopped, half cup milk. Sift together the dry ingredients, saving out 2 tablespoons of flour to mix with the fruit. Cut in the butter with biscuit cutter or 2 sharp knives. Add the milk and the floured fruit. Place the dough in a greased pan, pat it down until it is about 1½ or 2 inches thick. Bake 35 to 40 minutes in a medium oven. Because of the fruit, this coffee cake should be cooked more slowly than biscuits. When the coffee cake is done, butter the top of the cake and pour over it mixture of 1/4 cup finely chopped nuts, 1 teaspoon cinnamon, and 2 tablespoons sugar. Place the cake in the oven again and let it remain until the sugar is slightly melted. Serve hot or cold. Last month, a Chicago listener asked how to make tomato sauce for croquettes, fish, cutlets, and so forth. Her question was referred to the Bureau of Home Economics, and 2 recipes were sent to her. I am going to broadcast both recipes, and you may take your choice. The first is for plain tomato sauce made of the following 8 ingredients: 2 cups canned tomatoes, 1 bay leaf, half to 3/4 teaspoon salt, 2 allspice, yes, just 2 little round allspice, 1 teaspoon sugar, 2 slices onion, 2 cloves, 1/8 teaspoon pepper. Count your ingredients now. You must have 8. Perhaps I'd better repeat the list. 2 cups canned tomatoes, 1 bay leaf, 1/2 to 3/4 teaspoon salt, 2 allspice, 1 teaspoon sugar, 2 slices onion, 2 cloves, 8 teaspoon pepper. Cook the ingredients for 10 minutes. Strain through fine sieves. Measure the liquid. For each cup of liquid, allow 2 tablespoons flour and 2 tablespoons butter. Melt the butter, add the flour, and when they are thoroughly blended, add the seasoned tomato juice and stir until thickened. Place over steam for 5 or 10 minutes. Serve very hot. The second recipe is for savory tomato sauce made of the following 11 ingredients: 2 cups canned tomatoes, 4 tablespoons butter, half cup grated carrot, 2 tablespoons minced onion, 4 tablespoons flour, and half bay leaf, 1/4 teaspoon mustard, 1/4 teaspoon summer savory, 3/4 teaspoon salt, 1/4 teaspoon pepper, 1 cup water. Shall I repeat the ingredients? 2 cups canned tomatoes, 4 tablespoons butter, half cup grated carrot, 2 tablespoons minced onion, 4 tablespoons flour, half bay leaf, quarter teaspoon mustard, quarter teaspoon summer savory, 3/4 teaspoon salt, quarter teaspoon pepper, 1 cup water. Cook vegetables and spices in fat for 2 minutes, being careful not to brown the vegetables. Add flour after 1 minute so that it mixes in with the fat. Add tomato juice, salt and water, and heat until it thickens. Place over water for 10 minutes. Strain and serve. I have taken up most of the time today with recipes because I wanted to get them out of the way. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about something not connected with food at all. Till I come to the menu. Tomorrow's menu is a little different from any I've broadcast so far. I hope you will like the change. We have time today for 1 or 2 brief questions. Here's a good one. Should I grease my electric waffle iron to keep the waffles from sticking? An electric waffle iron should never be greased. Perhaps your waffles stick because you have not put enough melted butter or other shortening into the batter. 1 or 2 extra tablespoons of melted shortening in the batter will often keep waffles from sticking on an electric iron. When the waffle is brown and crisp and ready to take out of the iron, jab a fork firmly into it and lift the waffle straight up. If you work around the edges with a knife, attempting to loosen it in that way, the waffles will break and be almost impossible to get out whole. Here's another question we housewives are interested in. What can you tell me about the potato market during the winter months? The potato crop is 11 to 12% below average in quantity, but good in quality. City markets are full of potatoes. Prices are lower than those of November 1925, but higher than the prices of November 1924. The probabilities favor a price overage lower than last season because of the estimated 7% larger production. One more question. Please tell me what's wrong with my potted rose bush. The stems and leaves are thick with small grayish bugs. Your rose bush is probably infested with an insect known as mealybug, or it might be a scale insect. Thoroughly dissolve 1 pound of common laundry soap or fish oil soap in 4 gallons of hot water and spray the plants with the solution or dip them in it while it is still lukewarm. That's all for today. Something different tomorrow. In menus. Don't forget your pencils.
This broadcast was researched and produced by BreakAway Empire LLC.